Let's start familiarize an ePMP GUI side by side with a Ubiquity GUI. Let's log in to the ePMP GUI, and I have a Ubiquity radio on right side of my screen. So both the radios is showing on login page as their status. So let's go one by one on Ubiquity GUI, where you can see in the ePMP GUI. So we'll start with the radio model. Radio model you can see on the ePMP on the blue top bar. So here it is ePMP 3000. The next one is the device name. Then the major things are actually the wireless mode of operation that you can see in the blue bar as access point. In case of a subscriber module, this will be a subscriber module. SSID security you can see here, SSID here and security here. Firmware version you can see here in the down in the ePMP GUI. Uptime dates you can see here, system uptime dates. Sender frequency, channel bandwidth you can see here as an operating channel and operating frequency. Other major stuffs like TX power, antenna gain, you can see here antenna gain and TX power. About the MAC address of the devices, wireless LAN, you can see here on ePMP GUI. LAN status, you can see here. A number of subscribers connected on the status page, you can see here. There are separately mentioned the Elevate subscriber modules in the ePMP GUI. Coming to the monitor throughput, you can see the graph here. So we have included that into the monitor throughput chart. You can see the uplink and downlink graphical format. And stations or the connected subscriber modules you can see under monitor and wireless. All the major parameters are displayed here, like MAC address, IP address, distance, then modulations, SNR, RSSI, etc. On interfaces, you can see the LAN Ethernet side as well as the wireless side. So you can see this in ePMP under monitor performance. So we have in this particular model of radio, we have three sections. One describing the Ethernet status, traffic, total traffic packets, both in transmitted and as well as received side, like what it is mentioned here. And also it is giving you the count of drop packets, errors separately. Here you can see the errors here. So we have given some advanced counters. Wireless also the same parameter it is mentioned here, all the counters. In addition to wireless and Ethernet, we have for this particular model of radio, we have an SFP. So it is mentioned here. So the ARP table and bridge table here you can see in the ePMP and monitor and network. You can see the ARP table and bridge table. Logs, another important thing you can see here under the system logs. So these are the home page statistics which you are seeing on Ubiquity GUI, and the same thing, almost everything and more is available on our ePMP status page as well as the monitor page. Under wireless tab, wireless mode, access point, station, AP repeater is there in ePMP GUI. Equivalent to that, ePMP GUI has two modes. One is access point and subscriber module. On AC devices and on N devices, we have one more mode of operation, like spectrum analyzer. So being this radio is a AC product and it is exclusively access point mode, I'm opening another radio to demonstrate the AC radio, to demonstrate the mode of operation. So as you can see here under general, you can see the mode of operation as access point and subscriber module. Going back to the access point, you can see the SSID here, then channel bandwidth you can see here, center frequencies you can see here. If it is a DFS band, it will give you option to configure the alternate carrier frequencies. If the DFS is detected, it will switch over to carrier 1 and carrier 2 respectively based on the signal strength and environmental condition. About the transmit power, you can set it here, transmit power and antenna gain. It will comply based on the respective ARP rule of the working country. Coming to the maximum rate, you can see here under scheduler, downlink maximum rate, one can choose from the available rates. This will be using when the environmental condition is changing. So whichever modulation, if you choose, that modulation will be the maximum modulation the radio can work. Going to the wireless security, in UBND you can see none, that means open, WPA AES and WPA2 AES. ePMP supports none and WPA2 security option. As you can see here, this is open. WPA2 pre-shared key, you can put the key here like what you are seeing here. The third one is the radius. You can add the radius server IP, ports and secret key here to activate under radius authentication, equivalent to WPA2 AES EAP, where you can add in UBND the wireless radius credentials. Let's start comparing the network tab of UBND and ePMP GUI. Network mode, UBNT, we have two major modes, bridge and routing mode. All the network configuration is coming under configuration network. Being this is an access point, the basic mode is a bridge mode. So in order to get the apples to apple comparison, I have to log into a subscriber module. Under configuration network, you can see three different modes: NAT, bridge, and routing mode. So let's start with the routing mode. WAN network settings. One can configure the WAN IP address with the DHCP, static, and PPOE. So you can see the DHCP and static here. You can see the PPOE under this tab. All the credentials you can see here. IPv6 you can enable right here so that you will get all the IPv6 credentials. Onto the LAN settings. Again, it can be DHCP or static. You can see under the Ethernet interface. You can define the DNS, IP range, etc. here. DHCP address reservation. You can use this tab for binding the IP address versus the MAC address. Interface MTU size. By default, you can see under the Ethernet port, by default, the maximum value of MTU is 1700. IP alias. We can add the network IP address in this tab. VLAN. To change the mode to bridge so that you can view the VLAN settings. Separate option for data and management. Also, you can add the range of VLANs in case customer want to pass a range of VLANs. Also, you can add actually the VLAN mapping where the customer want to send a certain VLAN under CVLAN and it has to swap with the service VLAN when it is going to the core network. Firewall, you can see under the security, you can enable L2 and L3 firewalls, you can define here. Static route, to change it to routing mode, the mode you can add here. Port forwarding is in the NAT mode. You can do the port forwarding rules here. Traffic shaping is in bridge mode. You can enable it and you can define the traffic shaping in terms of PPS. Also, you can limit the multicast group here. These are the major network features where you can see on both UBNT and ePMP. Further details you can download it from support.cambiumnetworks.com. Downloads ePMP, the user manual. This will give you in-depth explanation if you have more doubt on this particular topic. On advanced tab, the key parameter is one is distance. You can see that on configuration radio, a user can configure it on the max range. So if the SM comes beyond that range, it can't associate with the access point. The second point is the client isolation. So here in ePMP GUI, you can see it under configuration, network, advanced. You can see SM traffic isolation. So if it is enabled, SMs can't talk each other, which are all associated to a single access point. About the LAN speed, it can be configured under configuration networks and Ethernet port. So by default, it is auto negotiated and you can manually configure the speed and duplex. The remaining parameters are not able to configure to the US user. It is built into the ePMP software. On services tab, the ping watchdog, user can see on tools watchdog. If you enable it, you can define the IP address, roles for if it fails or if it's successful, what are the rules that you can define with interval and ping rate trace, etc. SNMP agent, you can see under configuration, system, and SNMP. Web server, again on system, the general, you can see the web access, HTTP or HTTPS with the desired port. SSH server, telnet, also you can see here in the same tab. NTP, you can see on down. Syslogs, which was already explained earlier, it is on monitor and system log. Device discovery under network, configuration network, advanced, you can see the LLDP enabled or disabled user can do. Also, LLDP can be only in receive mode or receive and transmit mode. Receive only mode, or it can also, the radio can transmit the LLDP to discover by the other devices in the network. Under system, the firmware update on ePMP GUI, it is under tools, software upgrade. You can browse and you can select the software image. There are two types of software image ePMP is having. One is exclusively for the AC products, that is the disk image file, and another is for the N products, and that is GZ file. So you need to choose the respective corresponding firmware extension. After upgrade, it will pop up some messages, and post reboot, the software upgrade will be take effect. About the system account, the user management, configure system, right bottom, you can see the account management. There are basically 4 accounts ePMP GUI supports. Other major steps here under system is the location, that is the latitude and longitudes of the radio, which user can see in the ePMP GUI on system, and location services. If you have the internet access on the system, you can update this from the live Google Maps. From the maintenance point of view, device reboot that you can see here, this is a device reboot radio button. And for the support info, you can go to tools, backup, restore. You can download here the technical backup support file. Configuration management, you can backup your configuration backup files here, backup configuration, and also you can upload the configuration file to the radio via the same window, restore configuration. And last one is the reset to factory default that you can see right here. Let's analyze the different tools available in Ubiquity GUI. Start with the align antenna. In ePMP, we have e-align, which is available on subscriber modules. This is to fine-tune the RSSI of SM. Another tool is site survey. Under monitor wireless, SM will list all the SSIDs and MAC address, signal strength, etc. of all the nearby IPs. Discovery is not part of the ePMP GUI, but we have all direct connected ePMP radios can access through a common IP address 169.254.1.1. ping and trace route, you can see under the tools, you can give the IP address or URL and you can execute pinging. As well as trace route. It will display you the latency, hops, etc. Coming to the speed test, ePMP has the wireless link test. You can choose the time and you can start test. It will pump uh, traffic, type of traffic on UDP traffic on one at a time, and it will display the output. Spectrum analyzer view and ePMP GUI. You can again go to tools, spectrum analyzer. It will give you your spectrum as well as the information about the interferer. Detailed interferer information will give you. If you click on each pillar, you can see the SSID, operating frequency, MAC address, etc. of the interferer. So by that we come to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.